Took.
You're watching CNC3.
All right, well, it's a brand new day, and of course, there is lots to treat with on this, your Wednesday, the 29th. You see it right there? Wednesday, 29th of April, 2026. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and indeed, welcome to the wider world. This is the Morning Brew, and what we're going to do today, it's a very special installment. We have some conversations later on, obviously, with TTIVF, but throughout the course of the first and second hour, we really want to dedicate lots of space to you. We want, of course, our regular callers, our Santa Cruz, Diego Martin, our Pleasantville, I mean, you name it. We have folks who, when you hear their voice, you know exactly who they are. But we're trying to encourage as many new callers as possible, because today is the 29th, and it's significant for many reasons. It's the day after the one-year anniversary of the UNC's election 2025 victory, the coalition of interest. And we want to give you this morning the opportunity to dissect their first year of governance and give a grade and explain your grade. Obviously, we don't want you going to no long thesis and no long monologue for obviously minutes. We want to try to get as many calls in as possible, because we've been talking to experts, we've been talking to political analysts, and they have had their particular formula and remedy in how they've come to their particular number, their rating, their grade. And I think it's important to hear from the population, because clearly everyone's circumstance is different, everyone's lived reality is different, and we can get a perspective from South Trinidad, from North, from the East, from the West, from our friends in Tobago. So this morning, we give you a chance to really open up, to be honest, to be frank, and most importantly, I ask for you to be objective. I mean, I try my best in terms of the role and function, but this morning it's really about you, Trinidad and Tobago. So we'll open the lines and we will give everyone an opportunity to really ventilate and to articulate their rating on the government's first year of governance. Let's run in. See you soon. It's your Morning Brew. That is right. Running in on this Wednesday morning, and as mentioned in the walkthrough, the walk-in, it's a moment to connect, really connect, a meaningful connection this morning. And I really look forward to the perspective, as per mentioned, give your rating and explain why. And I want you to look at all the factors, the economy, if there's been any movement in that direction, our position on foreign policy. And speaking about foreign policy, right after the first break, we will do a nice recap. Darius Polo went through, I would say, a very intensive and almost surgical look at the first year in terms of our foreign policy, what was the position then, where we are now, and I guess you can let me know where we are going. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It's a really fantastic and action-packed program ahead. Jason Williams signing on. Let's see what's happening via the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Well, no new beef with Delcy. Speaking about foreign policy, we know that Venezuela, during the kind of unease that was happening last year and the uncertainty with their now incarcerated president, our Prime Minister was persona non grata, not invited, not welcome on the South American shores. As to where that is at this point in time, well, we stand by from Caracas to I didn't really hear any particular change of that position. However, we still have very strong diplomatic ties, and that's all that really matters. Our diplomats are talking. Their ambassador is still here. Well, I think we have some personnel out there in Caracas. Because if you notice, the acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, she's been making certain wrongs. She went to the Spice Island in Grenada. She went most recently to Barbados. And as much as we all live in the same space, we are indeed their closest neighbor. We saw recently where the former Prime Minister, Stuart Young, photo op, shaking hands with acting President Delcy Rodriguez, much to the, I guess, surprise of even his own party based on what I saw in the news cycle. I mean, we are not privy to the conversations behind the walls. So a lot of different things happening, and obviously the Energy Minister, Minister Munilal, saying that that particular handshake and that meeting is almost a undermining, as it were, of the energy movement and the progress that they're trying to make. Because again, for us to tap into what has been our driving force and kept, well, what continues to keep the country afloat, which is our energy sector, Venezuela must be in the conversation. But we know, obviously, the relations a bit strained, I would say, at this point in time. Obviously, you know, you'll get a chance to elaborate yourself. And as I mentioned, we really want to, yes, hear from our regular contributors, regular callers. Maybe we want some newbies to give that fresh perspective, that different perspective. I want to hear from Central this morning. I want to hear from Deep South. I want to hear from the North, from the West. Tobago, even if our friends overseas who are far removed from the space but who stay on top of the news, I want you and all to call and weigh in. Yes, we're taking international calls this morning. I mean, this is going to be one where we really put aside some time. We don't do this often, but I thought it was fitting. I thought it was the right time. It's the day after, so yesterday would have been our anniversary. We did our analysis with the experts. There was grand celebration on Saturday, and people definitely, they saw the swagger with some of the senators walking into the parliament yesterday, and many would have given ratings. Philip Alexander said 9.8. He said the 0.2 was based on, I guess, his transgression. He would have, just paraphrasing, he almost kind of put that 0.1 on himself. I think it could be at this point in time more than 0.1, honestly, Minister Alexander. And I can't wait for you to come back to the program because I have some serious questions to ask as to your some recent remarks and utterances, which, again, we have always been cordial and respectful, but I don't know what's going on. I mean, even to your standard, you've hit an all-time low. But I will stick a pin and stick a pause. It's not about him this morning. It's about the entire coalition of interests, their particular year of governance, the style, the fit. Clearly, there's been no major upheaval, a couple of readjustments, but more or less the same players who were assigned their position just about a year ago are in place. Some of the experts are suggesting that 8 of the ministers are top performers. They didn't want to mention. A couple names were mentioned, but not all 8, and they're saying others need to step up. So we wait in anticipation as to what the next year will bring. But indeed, before we could even get there, we must look back on the year that was. And we give you that chance to do just that this morning. Let's head now, of course, to what's happening on the back page. And we're on the brink of a victory. That's the Red Force. Pushing for victory. We've been able to send the Leewards in for the follow-on. So we wish the Red Force bowlers the best. Apparently, they're in control. Right, so that's a good look. And speaking about cricket, right here on the sport page, right under that Red Force story, we can safely say that cricket is back in the Olympic Games. So the cricket stadium there, it's under construction. They've started the construction. They've found the space, and they are putting this particular facility in a place called Pomona. I hope I got it correct. Pomona in Los Angeles, California. A significant step in cricket's return to the Olympic Games after, hear this, 128 years. That's the last time a ball bowl in the Olympic Games. So, yeah, cricket back in the Olympics. That's a good look, a good feel, and a very exciting time for the young cricketers. Other than playing for the IPL and CPL and winning a ICC World Cup, you could now win an Olympic gold medal for your country under this return of the beautiful game in the Olympics. Speaking about the beautiful game, well, that's really reserved, honestly, for football. I just kind of said that there in the rhythm of cricket because I also love my cricket, right? But when we really talk about the beautiful game that is football, was the Americans say soccer, but we say football. What a game it was yesterday. I sat down and I watched that game. Champions League first leg semifinals in Paris. PSG at home against Bayern Munich. Two of the top teams, talent from the top of the pitch right back to the goalkeeper. When last you saw a game on that level, international European football, when 9 goals scored, the score at the end of it was 5 to PSG, 4 to Bayern Munich, and it could have been more. I was like emotionally charged. I was exhausted. Now, I have no dog in that fight. The whole nation know I'm an Arsenal supporter from a long time. And I like my Jabalate because I live somewhere. But boy, that game, for those who know, they know. If you know, you know. And for those who love their football, that was a modern day classic. One of the best games, honestly, I have seen in years. It was free-flowing. Players were allowed to express themselves. I found the football got very cagey within recent years. Very cagey, very regimental, very predictable in a way. What we saw was men taking the game by the scruff of the neck, making decisions, deciding that, you know what, I showing up today. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for the second leg. I mean, this game was so fitting it could have actually been a finals. But because it's a semifinals, we're getting to experience it twice. So I look forward to next week's return in Bayern Munich. I think Munich, Bayern that is, should get over the line. I mean, they're a different beast in the Allianz. They're at home. And of course, the second semifinal today, my beloved Arsenal coming up against Atletico Madrid. I just was something, a little silverware now, just something, anything. I'm taking it right now. So all the best to Arsenal and much love to all the Champions League fans, those who take a little time, might work through their lunch to run away to the favorite watering hole to watch the game, those who might stream it on their phone. People find their ways. It's Champions League and it's semifinals and it's really the business end and the best part of the tournament. And I look forward to the game later on and to next week's part 2 of that saga between Bayern and PSG and Bayern. What a game yesterday. Oh, that was tremendous. You had to put an extra Mendes on the tremendous. Tremendous, Mendes. New word alert. Tremendous Mendes. You hear that? Mendes. It can't just be one Mendes. It's tremendous Mendes. All right. Let's see what's happening on the brief on this Wednesday morning. And as we go to the brief, we want to say kudos there to Karen Rose. Rose highlights tourism value in the digital data surge. I show speeds. Visit drives global attention to TNT. So I show speed yesterday went to, I don't know what anyway, he's 21, right? So I don't know what the young boy getting that energy. He would have done St. Lucia and St. Vincent in one day. Well, Vinci was lit. I mean, we're talking literally, figuratively. I mean, you name it. Vinci, for those who know the space, Vincentians, they have an extra energy. They know how to really have a time. So what he experienced last night was phenomenal. People in Kingstown, never Kingston, right there by the waterfront, big on, lighter in the air. It looked like thousands actually came out to see I Show Speed. So they had a literal street blocko party on top of a truck with Skinny Fabulous right in the heart of the city. You got a chance to eat a little food and get a little tail end of the island. And of course, St. Lucia, the man jump off cliff. He box in Cash Streets. Like literally, a man walk with gloves, he box, he run. He played cricket. This is a phenomenon. I think what we're seeing here is really, it's historic. It's the new way that people enjoy their content, especially the youngsters, the streamers. And we as the more mature folks, the hardback big man and woman, I have a son. So my son is a teen. I would have known about speed through my son. Obviously, when you have children, we as adults, we tend to learn through their lens. So I was very aware of the young man. But for those who see him for the first time, and they are scratching their head, just understand this is the new world we were in. And he was a young man that figured out very early how to tap in to the frequency, use the internet, share his personality. People clearly like the young man, and he is making waves. And you know what? When I see something like that, considering he's from Ohio, probably some, quiet part, and he's able to tap into that particular momentum so early, you ought to be happy for somebody who's able to figure it out. And I guess it's for us to look at the example. And what I've recognized, and he's said it many times in interviews, he always speaks about consistency. He was doing it every single day. He never let a day pass. And I think if we apply consistency, we apply serious focus, dedication to whatever our vocation. You don't have to be a streamer. You don't have to be, going all over the place, eating food, eating guana. I wonder, with that young boy belly, that boy eat guana. The boy put garlic sauce on a roti. He drinks CMOS. He eat doubles. He eat roti. He'll have to get a proper clean out when he go back, when he goes back to the US. But nonetheless, consistency and just having that particular focus. And that's, to me, the lesson of I Should Speed. And I hope the youngsters who balling and screaming for him and running and balling, speed, and away from all the noise, take a little step back from the mayhem and watch the example. And he's being his authentic self. Huh? You can tell the young man have a particular light, he have an energy, and he's being himself. A little too real at times. Man bust a hole, man pass gas in Barbados, so you saw that? The man pulled square, he's going to race a horse, and then Bajans get the man flying fish. The man he went oysters. We eat all kind of thing in Barbados. He went chefette, so as he said chefette. And poor fella, and belly like I said, I will him. But nonetheless, consistency and just sticking to the task. And your success will always be yours, man. So well done that I Should Speed. And well, catch of the day. Let me go back to the final picture here. Catch of the day, Dexter Blubber Gomez rides along the Pinto Road with 2 strings of large tilapia fish. He called that in the Arima River. You mean, when you see pictures like that, I just smile because I know that is authentic island living. They could get up, see, boy, a hungry boy. What I go do today, boy? I'm going to the river and catch a fish. Fresh. I'm going to bubble up that. He went and bubble up that right there. So, with that said, we had a nice intro. I was able to really explain what the task at hand is today. I'm putting I won't say responsibility, but I'm putting the focus this morning and the lens on you, Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to really give me that particular rating. Is it a 5-star rating, a 4-star rating, a no-star rating? Let me know your rating. I will sit, I will listen. Every now and then I might jump in and challenge, but this is really a morning for me to take my notes, to reflect, and to give you the opportunity to express what you're feeling, what you're seeing, and what you want for our beloved Trinidad and Tobago. We come back and we touch on the government's 1-year foreign policy position, and from there we will shape the framework into our conversation as we analyze and give a deep perspective on the 1 year of the UNC government. See you soon.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
At Modern Caribbean Enterprises Limited, we are making this Mother's Day extra special. Enjoy special discounts, free giveaways, plus $100 off detox spa session. Experience our infrared ultrasonic blanket. Turn back the clock with our LED non-surgical facelift for that natural, radiant glow. Not sure what she loved most? Our gift certificates can let her choose her perfect gift this Mother's Day. Modern Caribbean Enterprises Limited, because every mom deserves to feel beautiful, appreciated, and renewed. Call 653-0011.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose, and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited. Quality you can trust.
Higher purchase, credit card, loan on top of loan. This feeling heavy.
When debts start to weigh you down, it's time for a fresh start with fresh cash from NCB Merchant Bank. Their unsecured loan can consolidate your debts into one simple payment. No collateral needed.
One payment, one date, less stress?
Exactly. With lowered requirements, you can borrow up to $150,000 to clear your debt. Apply online and get the funds straight to your bank account. No branch visit needed. Fast and efficient. Apply today at ncbloanaccess.com.
Conditions apply.
My own personal motto is to show citizens of this country that our stories can be told in a professional and international standard. I want to show them that the journalism they consume on cable TV can also exist here. Each day, that's my focus, that's my drive, to show the stories of our communities, of our people, matter just as much as anywhere else in the world. That's why we are where you are.
Welcome back. As we get ourselves ready for the phone calls, we have to again go through our analysis. And as we conclude that said analysis of UNC's first year in office, we shift one of, well, at least to one of what I consider one of the most contentious topics of governance. And this topic is indeed foreign policy. It's a major talking point. And within 12 months, Trinidad and Tobago has pivoted from a decade of non-interference to becoming the regional spearhead for a new aggressive American security doctrine from a fractured CARICOM. Now, to a seat at the table in Doral, you know, we've seen the Prime Minister out there meeting with President Trump, and we, of course, know where we are in terms of our position as it relates to CARICOM. On this particular anniversary, this day after the election victory of 2025, Diris Polo gave a proper examination and an in-depth look at the year of fighting fire with fire. Enjoy.
For the last decade, Trinidad and Tobago's foreign policy has largely been one of neutrality.
We in Trinidad and Tobago, under all our governments, we have preserved the sovereign position of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. If today there are people in the opposition who believe that they have to take instructions from somebody else and the U.S. Embassy on Marley Street, then you're on your own. Leave the PNM out of that.
But with a new administration in charge, there is a major shift in how TNT engages internationally. On paper, the country's foreign policy still hinges on respect for sovereignty, non-interference, and international law. But in practice, it's another story.
Unless forceful and aggressive actions are taken, these evil drug cartels will continue their societal destruction because they believe affected nations will always unreservedly subscribe to morals and ethics and human rights and values, which they themselves blatantly flout. They do not adhere to those, and therefore we will fight fire with fire.
The hardline approach and aggressive posture have also reshaped regional relations and strained ties with Venezuela.
Persona non grata a la primera ministra de Trinidad y Tobago, Kamla Persat Bisesar.
In October last year, Venezuela's National Assembly declared Prime Minister Kamla Persat Bisesar persona non grata, effectively banning her from the country amid accusations of alignment with U.S. policy. But the Prime Minister has been unapologetic, taking her grievances to CARICOM's doorstep.
How could a CARICOM be a zone of peace when a narco-dictator who imprisoned and killed thousands of civilians and opposition members, you will see recently over 300 persons from the opposition in Venezuela have been released. They were in prison because of politics. So how can it be?
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Persat Bisesar has labeled CARICOM dysfunctional, dishonest, and plagued by rot, with a striking attack leveled against the regional bloc at the 50th Heads of Government meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis. She accused CARICOM of being complicit in the kidnapping of TNT firearms dealer Brent Thomas from Barbados in 2022, and condemned the Secretariat's failure to respond to her queries.
That response, non-response, it may be the result of poor management, lax accountability, or most concerning, that one ceases to be recognized by the Secretariat as a member citizen of CARICOM when not in government.
As the fracture deepens with calls to revoke the reappointment of Secretary General Carla Barnett, Trinidad and Tobago has moved closer to the United States, from supporting U.S. security operations to joining the Counter-Cartel Coalition and accepting a radar installation in Tobago. The country's alignment is becoming clearer. But analysts warn that shift may come at a cost, citing Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez's recent visits to other Caribbean nations.
Trinidad was skipped, which is very symptomatic of the tensions that were created by the current government in the past 3 to 4 months, while supporting the U.S. foreign policy in the region.
That alignment has widened into other areas, including calls for democratic change in Cuba, support for military action abroad.
On those, I keep to myself. My sympathy, my support are with my Muslim brothers and sisters, and the views of the party is the view of the party, and we follow our leader. But my views on those are with the Islamic resistance
and new terrorism designations under local law. Even within the country's diplomatic framework, questions remain, with only a handful of ambassadorial postings currently filled. Former Foreign Affairs Minister Winston Ducaran, writing in an international journal, urged a more balanced path, warning against choosing sides in great power rivalry, and instead calling for a strategy that protects sovereignty while securing the region's place in a changing global order. CNC3 News reached out to Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers for comment, but received no response up to news time. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
So it's a simple task ahead. We're giving a grade, and you explain why. You know, this is where it's almost like a report card. The report card session today, Wednesday, the day after the 1-year anniversary, the 1-year victory. Overwhelming victory also. I remember the day after, the country was calm. The Pui was in blossom. I remember the Pui was actually, it's almost like the nation. The trees, I remember distinctly. I don't know if at least for those in Port of Spain, when he was going around the savannah, the Pui was in blossom, and it was yellow. And I was like, okay, interesting. And the place was just calm. People just, you know, I guess that's democracy, you know. People didn't make no hullabaloo. The nation was given a mandate. They made their decision, and they have opted to go the direction of the coalition of interest. Now, it's a year and a day. We want to get the rating. Tabakit, what's the rating and why? Good morning.
A pleasant morning to you, Mr. Jason,
yes.
and Trinidad and Tobago. I am giving the Honorable Prime Minister and the government A, and I'll tell you why.
A.
When you have an administration, the Prasad-Bissessa administration, they're scheming on the backdrop of what they met, the Honorable Prime Minister had to navigate to ensure that she stabilized the economy. And to me, this is a Prime Minister that people-centered, people-driven, and labor-oriented. And as a result of that, Mr. Jason, that is why I'm giving her a A. Coming on the backdrop to repeat for time, she met the economy in shambles, and in 1 year time to navigate. That is why I am giving the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessa, the Prime Minister, and the government A for navigating, keeping the country on track, and manage to deal with international affairs and regional affairs. I think the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessa and her government is deserving A. Tabakit out and off. I thank you.
Thank you, Tabakit. Well, of course, you're welcome, because he said thanks first. So you're welcome, Tabakit. So we have 1A off the bat. Let's continue. It's your grade, your rating, and why. And you can keep it nice and tight like Tabakit. I would say you can keep it within a minute. I would love that, so we can get as many calls as possible. 624-8721, 627-8658. So obviously you have to consider the economy, consider where we are with our security, consider where we are with foreign affairs and our position, consider generally just the sense of optimism on the ground. That's what I'm hoping we could gauge it based on the factors. Good morning, caller. We're looking for a grade here.
No, I am not calling in connection with the government. I'm not calling in. I wanted to talk about something else. I suppose I'll let somebody else call.
Well, you could go ahead, you could go ahead. I could go ahead?
Yes,
go ahead.
Because it's a matter of concern where we have water wasting in Diamond Vale, and there are people with dry taps.
But I made a call about that. That water still, that leak still going on?
That water gushing down.
It's by Sapphire, right?
Yes.
Yes. We make
I don't know. It is sad to see that some people have no water and can't bathe in the showers, and the water just gushing down the street.
Now, I'm upset now because we would have inquired on that situation in Safan, and we were told it was... All right, well, we'll
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Digo Martin. No, she would have called with that concern, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week, actually, early last week. And we were given the assurance that it would be sorted out immediately, because when we get these concerns, we take it very serious. And to hear it's still wasting in Digo Martin there, where it have places people can't get no water, that's unacceptable. Come on. Caller, good morning. So, yeah, thanks for that little reminder. But we're going back to the grade. Going back to the grade here. Good morning. All right. So, listen, Dodoma that TNT have really pushed to ensure we get a block here, not only inside the first hour, but also inside the second hour. A big block, so you could really express yourself this morning. Who's out there? Good morning.
Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. We're looking for the grade and why?
I'll give them a B+.
A B+? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I mean, the state of the country, they came and they met, and I mean, they took some hard decisions, which I think they really had to do. And they're trying to cut out a lot of the corruption that took place. And I think if the government had the money, it would be a whole different scenario. The people would be happy and merry. And I think they're taking decisions in this 1 year to try and, now and the next 6 months, to try and do all what they have to do to, make the economy right on track. And I think that going forward, you're going to see better days to come, and people are going to enjoy a better way of life. And I will tell you this, if I had to grade them on the performance of the last government, but that would be something else. Thank you.
All right, caller, thank you so much. Now, again, you see, I recognize, well, I guess, people will always wear their party hat, But if it's one thing I've always at least I try to ask is for objectivity, and I find we need to sometimes, and again, I'm not denying the man's B+, but we are talking about the last administration here. We talk about this administration. I asked to grade what PNM did. Clearly, the nation made a decision on the 28th of April 2025, and that was their grade. Failing grade, sit down, go to the back of the class. We're dealing with a new administration who is in the driver's seat. So I want us to keep the focus there, and let's give the coalition of interests in their 1 year and a day performance a rating this morning. Good morning, welcome, you're live. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Jay.
Good morning.
All the viewers, Old School Enterprise.
Yes, man.
What I'm saying is, Jason being real, I look at the Prime Minister from her first time in office. You know what she did? And it always shocked me. A lot of people don't remember. When she won the independence, there was flood out, especially in Deo Martin. And she was there with the towel boots and her bathroom, clean up people here in the front. I still remember that about her. But presently, Jay, I believe our Prime Minister is adopting a certain attitude. And I believe she should slow down on that. Because I know the reason why she's doing that, she linking with Trump and Mr. Moody. These are big people, and you know, advice she began, advice and things. And the Minister of Homeland Security, you have to take it on with his attitude and different things, taping police and police like different things. So and having the information.
So school, with all that you mentioned, what's the overall grade based on everything you have seen in the last year?
Well, the effort, I believe the effort is real, but there are certain distractions. So in this time, I would give her a 5. Half out of 10, I'll give her a 5.
So that would be like a 5. A 5 would be like what? A C or a D? Because looking at A to about, well, A mean you're doing well, F, obviously failure. Rock and come again. So what do you feel? A B, a C, a D? We're looking at Old School.
You could classify because half.
Well, a C plus? What do you think, guys? That's a D?
You could classify.
All right, I'll put that as that's somewhere between a D and a C. Don't worry, we'll work it out.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
All over Trinidad, Tobago, all have a bless and save the love in the house.
Love in the house. So far we have had an A, a B, and well, based on what Old School say there, we'll have to go to C. A, B, C. That's the rating so far. We'll take a quick pause. Now we're going to continue with this exercise after 7. We're going to open up the lines again. I hope that we get way more callers and a chance for you again. Very important opportunity for you to express yourself. My friend from Digger Martin, we will check on that leak by Sapphire Drive that's causing all this concern, and clearly areas with no water and water wasted in Sapphire, we can have it. We cannot have it. So we'll check on that today. Up next, Edie Stewart. Yes, nurses work to rule. Yesterday was a tough one, you know. Some followed and adhered to the call, and some others, you know, it was normal, the work schedule. But Edie will give us the latest as we treat with the concerns of our nurses. Edie Stewart, up next.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with with Aja Nutrition.
On Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th, bring your mothers, sisters, wives, and the entire family to the luxurious, specially decorated Cascadia Hotel Ballroom St. Anne's for this exceptional Mother's Day buffet lunch and show.
From 12 noon, come enjoy a sumptuous buffet lunch prepared by the world-class chefs, which include appetizers, desserts, cocktails, and more. Then, from 2 p.m.,
mothers will be serenaded by the Caribbean stars live. Wendell McBurney,
Patricia Smith,
and soca star Sanel Dempster.
And the King Western Rollins with love songs and gospel. Early bird tickets available now at $500
at Cascadia Hotel St. Anne's, Crosby St. James, Cache Port of Spain, Michelle's Fashions Arima, Sona Jewelers, Shoguana San Pinal, Bellini, Strugmart, San Fernando, and online at islandetickets.com.
Nursing Association President Edie Stewart joins me. Of course, we are looking at developments yesterday at the nation's hospitals and the bigger concern as it relates to staffing and the capacity for the nurses to treat with the wards. We understand that lots of times the task is too much for who's there to treat with the many who are obviously not well. And Edie will give us a deeper understanding and tell us, as it relates to this work to rule action, if it would have had any impact yesterday and if there are plans to continue with this. Well, I would imagine at this point in time, Edie, this is protest action. All right, so good morning to you and welcome.
Pleasant morning to you and your listeners. Thanks for having me.
So I heard certain hospitals yesterday would have been the normal complement of staff, but then there were others that would have been impacted. What's the latest coming out of yesterday's work to rule?
Well, the association wants to be clear in our goals going forward. It's not so much work to rule as it is trying to get to the hearts and minds firstly of our citizens, to deliver the best quality care that nursing and midwifery personnel can offer, to deliver care that is safe, that is patient-centered, that is efficient, effective. So that is our main goal going forward. And it has begun yesterday. It is not a one-day action. It has begun. That was the initiation. And we sought to initiate it on the anniversary of the sitting government as a gift to the Minister of Health, that he can rest assured that nursing and midwifery personnel are going to give 100% and ensure that the care that they're giving is 100% safe.
I heard
now, the only way we can do that.
I just want to ask you quick, because I heard that, I think Arthur Ransett was probably one of, I guess you could confirm or refute, but I think you would have mentioned the ideal number. It's about 6 nurses to a ward. Is that the allocation, the correct allocation?
It depends on the unit. So every unit will have a different complement of staff that is internationally recognized to be able to deliver quality care. So your normal medical wards, your medical surgical wards, they hover around 1 registered nurse to about 4 patients. That is actually what was taught to us in nursing school. That is what we were examined on. We would never examine on 1 nurse to 10 or 20 patients. We were taught and examined on 1 registered nurse to 4 patients. So the Nursing Association said, look, there's a number of regional health authorities that cannot make that ratio at this time. So we are saying we will give them a 2-month time frame to get their house in order. In the interim, we would go above that 1 to 4 and treat 1 to 6. Yes, 1 registered nurse to 6 patients in this 2 months interval. And then after the 2 months interval, we go strictly to what the international standard is, which is actually 1 registered nurse to 4 patients.
Thank you for that clarification. I understand it now, because I actually thought a ward, there would be a particular quota in the ward, and it's around 6 nurses, but it's really 1 to 4. So a nurse is really supposed to be able to treat and, let's say, clean or administer whatever painkillers to 4 patients on a given day. But you're pushing it now to about 6.
Yes, we said, look, they can't make that as yet. We'll give them a 2-month time frame, allow them to hire more staff and be able to deliver that. Yes, now there are a number of RHAs who are already close to that level. So you have the ERHAs, you have the TRHAs who are already close to that level. But then you have a number of other delinquent RHAs. And we have recognized that while nursing and midwifery personnel have been stretching themselves thin to cater and to probably, according to one chairman of a board, they have utilized the ability of nurses to stretch themselves thin, which compromises the quality of care to patients, to able to save money because you're not hiring the number of staff that you ought to have hired. So we are saying it has not benefited the patient. Patient care has dropped. The quality and safety and the patient-centeredness has dropped. It is not recognized by the patients nor their relatives. It has not been recognized by the government. And by a clear example, they are refusing to even communicate when they would increase healthcare workers' salary. And certainly it has not benefited nurses themselves, seeing that a number of nursing and midwifery personnel have really come down with a number of illnesses in trying to stretch themselves thin. So we are saying no more. Beginning yesterday, April 28th, we are going to roll out this to make sure it is effectively implemented throughout all regional health authorities. I will give you some quick data. For a quick example, we have a situation where internationally, evidence-based research, the Minister of Health cannot refute this, that one nurse should see about 4 to 5 patients. You have a situation right now. If you compare a medical ward in San Grande Hospital, they have 22 registered nurses to cover a ward, a medical ward, over that month. So that 22 nurses will do the morning, evening shift, night shift. You know, you'll have nurses on vacation, different forms of leave. And they have about 10 enrolled nursing assistants and 2 patient care assistants assigned to the ward. So listen, 22 registered nurses, 10 enrolled nursing assistants, and 2 patient care assistants. In NCRHA, RHA that Tin Gopi Singh currently leads, he has in a similar medical ward, same 23 bed capacity, he has 10 registered nurses, 10 to 11. So less than half the required numbers of registered nurses he has to be able to deliver care. And this understandably cannot continue. And don't even speak about the enrolled nursing assistants, where in ERHA they have 10, 11, in NCRHA they have 4. So you could imagine the workload that is now being placed on each individual nurse to be able to deliver care. And we have said time and time again, when a nurse extends themselves so thin to try to see about so many patients, it compromises the quality of care. It compromises safety. You have more medication errors. You have more falls. You have more adverse events. You have more deaths. You have care goes undelivered. And we are saying, no, we are going to ensure going forward total nursing care is delivered.
Indeed, because ultimately the patients are the ones impacted. What's the genesis of that particular misunderstanding between yourself and Dr. Gopi Singh, who is in charge there of the RHA? Because he would say stuff online, you would, of course, give your commentary, and it seems that probably you all need to sit down and have a conversation, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, based on the temperature in the room.
The association is calling for his removal. He can be placed in another board. I mean,
so you don't want to talk? You literally don't want to talk, President?
No. You see, if I were to ask members of the public now, name one chairman of another board, they would be hard-pressed to name a chairman, because that is not the role of chairmen of boards in Trinidad and Tobago, certainly within the Regional Health Authority. They are not supposed to be so combative and so intrusive, and they are not executive chairmen. That is the role of the CEO, to be so hands-on. So really and truly, he has lost his way, and he's not fulfilling the role that he was appointed to. So, I mean, that is how you give out to your supporters all these board positions. And there are many other boards he can be placed on, but not within health. And the workers have given the association the directive that he really and truly should go. Otherwise, there will be continuous friction amongst workers and the establishment of the day. So that is our claim. But one of the fundamental issues that the association has with Dr. Tim Gopi Singh is the concept that, which he put out into the public domain, that nurses somehow was corrupt and we were trying to deceive and with the extra duty and the pool payments, if persons show their mind back to that conversation that was going on, which is totally false, that nurses were defrauding the authority. And it's still out there. Persons are still repeating that as if he fully well knows that he doesn't have the required numbers of nursing and midfield personnel to deliver care. And I just pointed out they are operating less than half the required numbers of nursing personnel. So obviously, if you are operating on less than half the complement that you ought to be operating with, then you would require those nurses who are on your establishment to work even more than they should, work more extra duty, work more pool. And that's the reason why the pool bill or the extra duty bill is high. So to give the impression to members of the public, that was really unfortunate and is really unacceptable, and really and truly, he would need to be removed.
President Stewart, we have literally a few seconds remaining before we head to the news. What message you want to say in that very short window to the nurses?
Well, nursing and midfield personnel, we went through this before, we went through these battles, and we understand that it will take several months of action. The last time, it actually took 7 months of continuous action before the government actually gave healthcare workers at least the same courtesies they have given to public servants. And that is all we are asking for the government to indicate when they would move healthcare workers' salary from 2013 to something more acceptable as what every other state organization is currently on. Yes.
President Stewart, as always, great conversation. Always good seeing you, and keep us in the loop. All right? All the best.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
Representing the nurses, Edie Stewart, their president. We take the pause and we get ready for the 7 a.m. news update and more calls after 7.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. Your financial needs are sure to be met. At Police Credit Union, there's zero regrets. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile. So grow with us today. We can do this together. We can secure the future. We can secure
Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
Hey, man. Where are you? Okay. You said 5 minutes. Anyone want dessert? Maybe he's stuck at the office? Surprise! Not yet, Carl. Bro, I'm literally at the altar right now.
Relax. I'm almost there.
We're like the friend who isn't always late.
You have the rings.
CG United. Good like that.
Shop and save at PRW, the People's Company. Check us for all your computer and electronic needs. 65-inch TCL Smart TV only $4,800. Get a HP laptop for $3,100. Epson All-in-One Ink Tank Printer $1,799. Gaming cases from $299. Bluetooth Party Speaker $2,500. Acer 19.5-inch Monitor $799. Call PRW today.
Can you do this?
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Time Check, brought to you by the Central Bank and the National Financial Literacy Program.
Good morning. I am Jensen Levin with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. Government Senator Philip Alexander is pushing back against criticism over his online statements, insisting his social media activism is part of what brought him into office. Over the weekend, Alexander reportedly went live on social media where he made disparaging accusations about former politicians and individuals linked to private organizations. Alexander says short clips were edited and shared online. But he defended his approach, maintaining that Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has not reprimanded him over his statements. He says he only removed the video on the advice of his attorneys, who warned it could affect potential legal action he is considering against a former government minister. He adds that his social media activism has encouraged government officials and supporters to defend themselves publicly.
I hear Kamla Persad-Bissessar, the Honorable Prime Minister, speak sometimes, and I feel proud. I hear my words come out of Barry Padarat's mouth. I know that I've empowered and helped and encouraged. I know I've made this government strong. I know their supporters now are not being bullied on social media anymore because they know that they have people the likes of me.
One day after government celebrates its one-year anniversary, government senators are giving the United National Congress high marks. Minister in the Housing Ministry Philip Edward Alexander and Minister in the Ministry of Sport David Nakid gave an almost perfect rating.
I would give us a strong 9.8 out of 10.
Why are you dropping to 0.2?
0.2 points. There's always room for improvement, and I myself would have made some mistakes. I think I might be responsible for one of the 0.2 points.
I will rate the government 10 out of 10, given what the PNM left us. We ask the people for patience and let them know that better days are coming.
Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
With an Answer Bank in-one home mortgage, you enjoy as low as 5% down payment, up to 3 years insurance, refinancing available, expert guidance brewed right. Banking that feels like home. Answer Bank. Switch to a new way of banking. Refinance with an Answer Bank in-one mortgage and enjoy as low as 5% down payment, up to 3 years insurance, expert guidance. Let the perfect mix feel like home. Answer Bank. Switch to a new way of banking.
Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and Meta Quest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the second floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today.
Minutes after 7 o'clock, so just a quick reminder inside the second hour, and of course welcome to you and yours. We will again open the lines, give you a chance to weigh in on the government's performance for the last year and a day. So far we have a A, a B+, and I'll have to say that last caller, we could give that a C. Yes, so we're going to treat with that later on. But before we get back to the lines and all the excitement and the analysis, let's check in with our man on the ground there in Colombia. When it comes to issues involving the environment, Ryan Brew is definitely ahead of the class. So let's check in and see what's happening with that important meeting and conference happening in Colombia. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning, Jason, and good morning to all of your viewers, and thank you for such kind words. It can't be coincidental that around the time of these conferences, some major geopolitical global story hits the headlines and not only disrupts but dominates the conversations at these conferences and around the world. Yesterday, Jason, was the biggest story of them all, perhaps the biggest story of the week when it comes to the energy sector. The United Arab Emirates has announced that it will leave the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries on Friday. That's huge news in the context of the conference that is currently happening in Colombia. Experts here tell me that they don't expect it to really affect the outcome, the recommendations, or the actions that are coming out of this conference here in Santa Marta. But they do expect that it will dominate the closed-door discussions and might even influence some of the conversations that are happening here in Santa Marta. It's important for us to recognize that, yes, what has happened in the Strait of Hormuz, what has happened in Iran bombing the United Arab Emirates, that's an OPEC member bombing another OPEC member, all of that have really led to the decision of the United Arab Emirates to withdraw from OPEC. But there's also a renewable energy aspect to this, because now, outside of OPEC, the United Arab Emirates, Jason, will be able to add, they think that they can add another 1 million barrels of oil per day. Now, that's going to drive the price of oil down globally. Now, if that's going to happen, experts here are telling me that this could also play into the renewable energy landscape. What do I mean by that? It means that they can now sense that a renewable revolution is coming. They can sense that we've seen the International Energy Agency's executive director saying that he believes the Iran conflict is going to change things, and we're never going to go back to the way that we've exported and sold oil and gas pre-Iran conflict. Those words have also been echoed by the Australian climate minister. Now, if we are to take those words seriously, then the United Arab Emirates could be looking at selling off as much oil while it is in demand before this transition takes place in the decades to come. Those are some of the theories that are taking place here in Santa Marta, Colombia. But what is certainly known here in Colombia is that a huge news like that could influence the way that the world operates in the coming days, in the coming weeks. We have to see if the United Arab Emirates will now break with what it was avoiding, holding back barrels while it was with OPEC, and now actually producing much more barrels of oil per day. But certainly, Jason, that's going to affect Trinidad and Tobago. It's going to affect global oil prices, and it's something that we have to look as May 1st comes around and the UAE officially withdraws from OPEC. Here in Colombia, it will continue to be a talking point. It's a major talking point, if even behind closed doors, to see that the way the energy transition now is going to be affected with this news. For now, Jason, I'll hand it back to you, but I'll certainly be keeping in touch with you to see how this progresses.
Ryan, again, a sincere thanks. Always on point, professional. Once it's treating with sustainability, environment, Ryan is definitely our man for the task, and we wish Ryan a safe return back to the shores of Trinidad after that adventure there in Colombia. I look forward to more from you, Ryan, and have yourself a tremendous day ahead. Let's take the pause, and when we come back, we open the lines. So far, a B+, and a C as it relates to the government's performance for the last year and 1 day. Your calls and your analysis up next.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Enroll your child today at CTS College's private primary school. Classes are online and taught by qualified and experienced teachers. Our fun and engaging sessions are recorded for further review. We cover the full range of SEA subjects with preparation for success. Students from first year to Standard 5 are welcome to join. And with our competitive rates and flexible payment plans, it's easy to enroll. Sign up today at CTS College.
Step into ABC Doors and Windows, where quality meets variety. Discover premium wooden, steel panel, fiberglass, and steel security doors alongside aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows designed for strength and durability. At ABC, we're always a better choice, delivering products built to last and service you can rely on. Visit our showroom at 1 Chanka Trace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to make your dream home a reality.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Again, you know, we really put aside some time. You know, definitely we speak with the experts. We, up to yesterday, had Dr. Shane Mohammed, political analyst, give his particular perspective on the government's performance and put forward a rating. And I think it was only appropriate to bring you into the conversation, Trinidad and Tobago. And certainly, I look forward, I hear, pen in hand, paper, and I taking notes. Shagonas, we're looking for the rating and why. Good morning.
A pleasant good morning, Jason.
Morning, Shagonas.
All right, on a lighter note, I just want to say, watching them fellas and them real cough it out in that football yesterday.
Listen, I talk about it in my monologue. Partner, that's one of the best games, Shagonas, I have seen in years, you know.
I'm telling you, let me tell you, and I watched the whole 90 minutes. I watched that whole game. Watch that. I did really the best game I have seen in years.
You didn't feel exhausted after? I felt like if I was on the pitch, I was feeling emotionally charged.
Yeah, and watch that. Both sides was going at it. Both sides were 100%. Both sides was going. But I give man of the match to Luis Diaz.
Only say? Oh, Diaz too, boy. Ooh, Diaz was fantastic.
Yeah. I'm telling you, because. All right. Well, Jason,
before you go to the analysis, big question though. When they meet next week in Alliance for the return leg, who you feel gonna go over the line, boy?
Well, you know what? I feel that's like a flip of a coin, boy, Jason. That's like a flip of a coin.
I put my money on Bayern, you know. I put my money on Bayern. I think Bayern going all the way. Well, not to win the tournament. I don't want them to win, but I think Bayern will be there next week.
I know Arsenal playing today, and you'll be watching it. I know that.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
But you know, anytime Atletico score, Simeone go and park that bus. You know that.
Yeah, I know that. So we have to score.
Anytime Atletico score.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just I want to tell you, I give the government an A, right? Because of the resources that they had, right? And not only where money is concerned, but other things. What they had when they now came into office, right? I think that they have not spent any sort of bad money or anything like that, relevant to unnecessary stuff, right? They have had to make certain sacrifices, right? Just like any other government. But I think a lot of people need to realize this, right? In our lives, in our daily lives, we need to do some more introspection and take greater responsibility in the way how we live our lives, right? And things are not as bad as we think that they are, right? It's just that sometimes we have to hold strain a little bit just for a better day to come forward, and we are to trust in God where that is concerned. And with that statement, I want to say this, that relevant to the nurses, right? If it is that you are not getting all the salary, I could understand that, because you need a salary to live, right? But what I am saying is that the last salary that they would have increased, that they would have gotten, if I'm not mistaken, would have been in 2013 under the People Partnership. For 10 years, right? For 10 years, or 9.5, if you want to say that, right? Under the PNM, they got nothing. They got nothing, right? And yes, they would have voted for and supported something, a better party, as in the UNC, and they would have been expecting certain things, right? But we have to remember it's only 1 year gone so far, and that is not a green light to be lazy or not, Jason. All I am saying is that it's only 1 year have gone by so far, right? And you need. When you're building a house, you need to get the foundation blocks first, right, before you could reach up there. So you need to do the preliminary and the fundamental things that needs to be done right now. And I think that the nurses need to take a greater responsibility as for what they are doing, right? And by telling nurses that they can't see about more than 6 patients and this and that. Mr. Stewart, let me ask you a question. If it was your family or your mother or your wife in the hospital there, wouldn't you want them to receive the necessary medical attention?
No, remember he said that's based on international practice and standards. That's the gold standard. Of course, what they're doing is they're going beyond the boundary and dealing actually with more than 6 at a given time. But trust me, we'll stick up in because I want to keep it here for now, Shagona, so with the rating. Let's probably expand on that, if not tomorrow, Friday.
All right.
Yeah?
All right, just you take
the best, man. But I was just saying that, what Edie would have mentioned, and I just want to tell Shagonas that it's not his particular standard. That's the gold standard is he said about 4 to 5, and then he says, he says 6. He said 6, a matter of fact, and I think the nurses right now stretched beyond that particular threshold. All right, so, well, another A from Shagona. So far, 2 A's, a B plus, and a C. Let's hear from Dabadi. Good morning. Dabadi, morning.
Dabadi, good morning. I'd like to give an A plus.
A plus for the government's performance?
Yes, sir.
All right, and tell me why.
Be in such a bad situation from the previous government, I like to thank Kamala, Minister, for a good performance under the circumstances.
All right. No problem, sir. Thanks a lot for the commentary. So we have an A plus. First A plus for the morning, 2 A's, a B plus, and a C so far from all the callers are passing grade. Again, this is really a chance for you to express yourself on the government's performance. And, well, yeah, we are looking at what's to come. We're just looking at the last year and a day. Kuva, good morning.
Morning, listen to you on yours.
Good morning. We're looking for the rating.
I gave them a C minus.
A C minus?
Yeah.
How come?
Well, failure with this government came in on a lot of promises they made to the public. And they haven't keeping most of the promises. So I feel on you look at businesses closing down, on you hardship, people losing their jobs, and this government not doing what they said they would have done based on what they said on the election campaign. And I feel this government, I try to find they should call an election now.
Well, based on what the experts said, if an election was called now, they're suggesting that UNC will win again. And you know what? C minus is actually a passing grade. I think there are people who will pass with a C minus,
Well, again, them a C C minus.
A C minus. All right. Well, all right. Well, that's still a passing grade. All right. Well,
okay.
Take it easy, Kuva. So we have a C minus, a C, a B plus, 2 A's, and a A plus. Yeah, man. We're looking at the performance. Again, just call, give the grade, and explain why. I think it's a very important exercise. Because so many times we sit on the sidelines. I mean, I ask the questions, I listen to the experts. But really and truly, we are living here. This is our lived reality. This is home. We have to deal with the grocery. We have to deal with the road. We have to deal with government agencies. We have to deal with all the different factors that come together to keep this Trinidad and Tobago wheel turning. And of course, we have to also hear from Tobago. Tobago's on the line.
Good morning, Jason, and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning to you. I'm looking for the grade.
Jason, the government get a C minus.
A C minus?
What was half right, they put totally wrong. And I am hearing people, I mean, everybody have their own opinion, but for somebody to say A and B, in my opinion, they might. Because everything has changed. Right now, how could they solve crime when the law enforcement is lawless? How could they solve crime when crime is pointing at ministers in office? Yes, how could they solve crime? For instance, we have San Grande, a runaway town. Nobody is saying, okay, let me take an investigation to see what's going on. We have San Fernando, the Ministerial Police. So much guns are missing, and the people in charge started saying it was 60. We don't know how much guns is missing. How could we solve crime when evidence in police station is disappearing? And Jason, I can go on and on, but everybody put in a little piece, you'll get some answers. Have a nice day.
All the best, Tobago. Thank you so much for checking in. Tobago, definitely always important to get your perspective. You are a major part of the conversation, and I always, especially on a Wednesday too, because you know Wednesdays normally Tobago talks, but we cannot put all that to the back burner today to hear from you. So let's head to the lines again. We're looking for the grade and why. Good morning.
Hey, JW.
Hey, St. James.
Morning, bro.
Morning. What grade are we going to give the government for the last year and the performance?
Well, you know, first and foremost, happy belated birthday to you. I saw your birthday was recently.
Yes, thanks.
As usual, shouts to you and the entire team. And now tuning into the show, what grade would I give the current administration? Honestly, I wouldn't want to put a grade there, and here's my reason why. I listened to the conversation you had yesterday with Dr. Mohammed. It was an interesting conversation, and I would say honestly, the rating of any administration is simply the comfort of citizens in real time, as you would have touched on when you go to the grocery, when you're out in public, the opportunities in the country, the acknowledgement of your rights, just the general comfort of citizens. That is really the grade of any administration. So far, this current administration, they have been doing good, and I look forward for continuation. I know they mentioned the revitalization plan, and I would honestly say they have been doing good. You know, no real complaints. There have been some moments, but I look forward for better, and not just for this current administration, for the entire future, for the rest of my life. I look forward for any and all administration to ensure the comfort of the citizens.
Well, based on what you're saying, St. James, as we wrap things up, that sounds like more or less a B or A. It seems like it's a passing grade.
Well, Jay, if you want to put a letter to it, you could definitely do that. But I didn't avoid the question, but I gave an honest description. But you could agree to it. Thanks for the opportunity to contribute as usual. Blessings to you and the entire team and the nation.
Yeah, I'm asking my team, what you feel? Based on St. James commentary, that sound like what? A, guys? Sound like a B? Okay, not a plus, right? Just like a B. Okay, so so St. James description there, we'll give that a B. You didn't really want to put a grade, but we'll grade it. So far, passing grade. So far, passing grades. One more call. Good morning.
Yes, a pleasant good morning to you, JW.
Good morning.
CNC3, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I will give the government an NA. You know why I would say that? Because you're saying the last administration left our economy in shambles, right? And up to this present day, I am not hearing anything of how our economy is thriving. Nothing. We're not hearing anything about that. So I can't give no positive ratings, right? And there we have again, just over the weekend, JW, potholes taking lives, right? And on last Friday, police raiding the Sandy Grande taxi stand in Arima side there. The Arima police raiding the Sandy Grande taxi stand, looking for defective parts and all the documents and so on. And you know what they found, JW? Zero. All the taxis are very well up to mark, right? They search and they had their ticket books were empty, right? So they couldn't collect no draconian fines that this government has put on the nation's drivers, right, to support the raising of their 10% for their union friends, right? And that was a failure, right? So I rate them an NE. So I thank you very much, JW.
Thanks a lot
for allowing me the contribution.
Yeah, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. So, well, I guess what? Not applicable, NA, right? We got 2 C-, 1 C, a B+. I would say St. James was like a B. We have 2 A's and 1 A+. Let's squeeze in one more now. Why not? Could we? Let's make it happen. Good morning. Welcome. Morning,
Jason.
Morning. Welcome.
Yes, sir. We are here. Just a quick, I know you have much time, right?
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Right. Here what is going on. I ain't grading the government just yet, but I want to give you a little insight concerning the nurses, because my wife works in the medical field.
All right.
Right? And she had some hours from 7 in the night to 7 in the morning, and then sometimes staff even come to relieve her, and she have to go from 7 in the night to 7 in the morning to 7 to 3 in the evening. These is the kind of hours. Then she dealing with about 14 patients, sometimes 10 patients.
14, you say?
And
I give that.
But I'm telling you, Jason, right now, when my wife come home, I have to make sure and keep up mental, because you know how it does go on some of these wards. Nurse. Everybody calling you. And the president is trying to tell the minister that he needs to come down to us and find out exactly what it is going on. They always say when you're in the fire, you just feel the heat.
Well, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So these people going from since, remember COVID come, they going from since before that. COVID come. These people are very tired. I am telling you, my wife is drained, boy, Jason. Boy.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine when she come home, you have to make sure you prepare a meal, probably rub her feet, just make her relax, because she will be mentally and physically and emotionally drained.
Yes, and this is what the president is trying to say, that it could cause mistakes, because when you have to work these kind of hours, staff income, it causing a hole for disaster.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for sharing, Saparia. Thank you so much for sharing that, and giving it a real scenario, so people can get a deep understanding. Let's get to the rating now. What's the rating? Oh, like he gone? Just want to.
Hello.
Oh, Arima. Good morning.
Hi, morning, Jason.
Morning, morning.
No, I will give them an A all the way. Because, ain't it, when you is a baby, you had a creep before you walk, ain't it? You had a creep before you walk. Give them a chance. They are coming on and they are doing everything, because when we get in there, the place was in a mess. And they trying. It's just 1 year, right? And we will overcome all that. So I give them a big A. And Jason, I would like to know, with the passport, right? When you have your passport, you have to get a new passport and you go online and it's all kind of thing. What really going on? Could you elaborate on the passport online? You can't get through. So I would like you to elaborate on that for me, please. You had to travel, you had to do a little traveling, and you can't get to renew your passport. They're telling you the 9th of October. Could you please let us know what's going on with the passport?
No problem.
Government, come on. But I'll give them a big A.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Arima, I would call a contact of mine at the passport office, and I'll try to get some details. I think, obviously, there are other options. I mean, obviously, there's Port of Spain and other areas, but I'll find out if there's any backlog or any kind of backup in the system. So I'll take a note of that. Their passport and Sapphire Drive in Diego Martin. I'll make some calls. With that, before we take the break, let me give you the rating so far. 1 A+, 3 A's, 1 B+, 1 B, 3 C's, and 1 not applicable, NA. So that's what NA is, right? Yeah, right, so that's the rating, and so far, based on the callers this morning, a passing grade for the 1 year and 1 day anniversary. Let's come back and get into some housekeeping. See you soon.
Need to upgrade to a better phone system? Contact the experts at Voice Outsourcing. In office or remote, our phone system allows you to take every call. Grow your bottom line by offering excellent customer service. Call 217-1895 or 628-8182 or email today.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley. Loving the flavors you get with Tetley.
Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Dark, strong British blend to give you a good morning boost. Or Tetley decaf, all of the antioxidants, none of the caffeine. Losing weight or staying healthy your thing? Try Tetley green tea. Get the vitamins to boost your health with Tetley super teas. Or calm down with Tetley chamomile. Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Tetley, a tea for everyone.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley, a tea for everyone. Tetley tea.
Distributed by AMCO, a subsidiary of Ansa McCall.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza, Endeavour, Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
This place too evil happening here too long. Mark my words, that girl in plenty trouble. 3 drops in his food every day for a week, and he's yours. All yours, forever.
For truth?
For truth.
Selena, if you tell anybody what you see inside of here, or what you hear inside of here.
Don't miss TNT's hit soap, Westwood Park, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Only on CNC3.
Welcome back. Let me see what's happening with the time. 28 minutes moving up to 8 o'clock on this Feel Good Wednesday. Again, just a quick reminder, ways to contact the team. We want a short email, nice and to the point, no thesis, no dissertation. We don't want no long drawn out watery letter. Just put your name, who you represent, and what you want to treat with, and we bring you on the program. You're sending it to tmb@cnc3.co.tt. Another way to stay on top of all, of course, your news and current affairs is via our social media feeds, the Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter. We keep everyone in the know, whether it's local, regional, or international developments. We active on the socials. That's right. Another place to stay on top of your breaking news is via the CNC3 mobile app, your number one source for verified breaking news, all your favorite content on demand, and programming details. Get it today on your smartphone. Now let's head across to the shoulder that we stand on, the legacy product, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, 108 years in the making. Before your time, my time, our combined time. Rocker ages, 108 years in the business, still going strong and still keeping the nation informed. And for those who want to enjoy the Guardian on their desktop, tablet, or mobile, you can visit guardian.co.tt today for more. Let's head into our food for thought. That's right, words to inspire on this Wednesday morning. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Again, the most important investment you can make is in yourself. And that's from Warren Buffett, who we all know is a big one when it comes to finances and business, and very successful. So I guess he would have figured that out pretty early and is sharing it with us so we could also apply the advice to ourselves. I think we have the weather. Yes, we do. That's right. Let's check in with Sagoni for our weather update. Enjoy TNT.
Hi there, I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your daily dose of weather. Across the islands at this time, we do have a slight concentration of Saharan dust present, but other than that, conditions are quite stable in the atmosphere, and we're not seeing a lot of activity in our neck of the woods. So over the next few hours, what we will encounter in Trinidad and Tobago will be hot, hazy, and breezy conditions, and we're talking about temperatures approaching 33 degrees Celsius. That's your forecast maximum throughout the day. If you're in Trinidad, Tobago comes in at around 31, maybe 32 degrees Celsius. We'll see how it goes. But your feels like temperatures will be approaching the upper 30s. So take notes where that is concerned. You may just want to have a bottle of water on hand to keep you cool and hydrated along the way. Well, for those of you heading offshore, we do not have any more hazardous seas alert in effect because that has since been discontinued. But you still have to exercise extra caution. Why? Because spring tide is most definitely in effect with the occurrence of the full moon later this week. So with that in mind, exercise caution out there, and we're also looking out for moderate seas with winds from an east to southeasterly direction. Not too bad in terms of your speeds, quite moderate to gentle, with wave action approaching 2 meters in open waters, but 1.5 meters in those nearshore or sheltered areas. Take note, if we do have scattered showery activity tomorrow, because of daytime heating and clouds building up, we could encounter a slight chop within the nearshore areas, in addition to looking out for the abnormal high and low tide that comes in with the spring tide effect. So with that said, hey, take note and exercise caution when necessary. That's a wrap on your forecast. So that's it from me.
That's what people want to know.
Thank you so much, Sagoni, for the update. Up next, Dr. Catherine Minto-Bain checks in, and definitely some details concerning the IVF event happening at Sapa in the Southland on the 16th. Details up next.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Spring is here and your garden's ready for a glow-up. The Vega Garden Center sale runs April 24th to May 3rd. Get 20% off all plants, soil, pots, and fertilizer at both our San Fernando and Grand Cooper branches every day, including weekends. Whether you're refreshing your balcony, revamping your yard, or creating a jungle indoors, we're talking bougainvilleas, ZZ plants, calatheas, a wide variety of crotons, orchids, bromeliads, palms, herbs, ground cover, and more. The Vega Spring Sale. Let's grow something beautiful together.
In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail,
rigorous verification of facts,
use of credible sources, and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
Dr. Catherine Minto-Bain joins me on set. I mean, we all look forward to the discussion every Wednesday, and she makes time out of her schedule. I mean, she is, after all, a medical director and fertility doctor, so her schedule, I can only imagine, is a long one. You know, I wanted to kind of get to that before we jump into the event. What's your day like, Dr. Catherine Minto-Bain? Obviously, coming here on a Wednesday, getting up extra early to be here on set, and then you head immediately to the clinic?
Yeah. Days are a funny thing. Sometimes they're very calm. You can reflect in the morning and you head into a day where you've got clinic patients, doing lots of quality work. Other days you're getting calls, cancer patient needs help, you've got to call her. Another patient had some problem with her medication last night, you need to get in quickly, sort her out. So some days are a little bit chaotic in medicine and you have to like triage things. We were just talking about passion and purpose. I can't tell you how much I love my job and I love the people I work with. It's
yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you're impacting lives and you're seeing in real time, you know, the joy when people are able to go over the line and hold their bundle of joy, and you're seeing children from babies to young adults now, I'm sure.
To adults, and it scares me, yes. Yeah.
I could imagine, I think I asked you that already, probably the amount of godmother requests.
People don't ask me to be godmother. I think they don't want to overstep the line. But they love, people love to bring you their children, and yeah, we love all of that. I think the nurses get more of those requests. There are more Gabbies and Cindys and Mels and Shardas. They name after our nurses, and the nurses stay very involved with patients.
That's right. So. Well, you know, just want to kind of get a little insight into your day and the whole the rhythm of what you do. We're looking forward, of course, to Conceiving Hope 2026. That's the event at SAPA. We're talking here next month, and for those hearing about it, I know we spoke about it last week, but let's say someone is hearing about it for the first time. Break it down in a way we could all understand as to what's the experience and what will be the ultimate takeaway for those in attendance on the 16th.
So Conceiving Hope, you can see the graphic that's up there. It's all about helping people who are struggling with infertility and need to know more about, specifically this year, the treatment IVF. It's an IVF event, it's free for the public, and it's a very important part of what we do at TTIVF. We're here to help people have families, give infertility treatments, but we're also here to spread knowledge and help with understanding so everybody knows what their options are. So we are coming south this year. It's in SAPA, and it is May 16th, and we're splitting it into a variety of different events during the day, and we can go through that. Actually, that's the seminars there.
Right, so I'm seeing their seminars. So there's one called Science of Hope. Walk me through that one, because I'm seeing here where there is something called home-based IVF, and that will be, I would imagine, explored inside the Science of Hope.
Yeah, so
what's that about?
This whole event is about IVF this year. We've done this for 3-4 years now, and we always take a theme, and this year it's about IVF. IVF is the most successful fertility treatment. It isn't necessarily the one that everybody would need, but it is certainly the one that's most successful. It's absolutely time to talk about it because we've got this phenomenal new IVF clinic in Trinidad and Tobago. That's TTIVF's clinic in Aranjuez. We're leading the way now in the Caribbean. We do have the most sophisticated lab right here in TNT. So we've split the day into sections, and the morning is seminars. Science of Hope is really all about why does IVF work? How does it work? Who should do it? And it goes through basically how we bring the eggs and sperm together in the lab, something I'm about to head off now and see. And it's one of the lovely things that IVF does. It helps things that aren't working in your body, and it gets it into a laboratory and it brings those things together. Seminar 2 is all about why here? Why in TNT? And I think a lot of people still go abroad, which blows my mind because you don't need to anymore. And Seminar 3 is all about how we get you into IVF.
How you get started.
Yeah, yeah. People want to get going quickly. A lot of people have left it too long. And so we give you like the 5 steps to fast track you into your IVF cycle.
That's right. So for those in attendance, you have piqued their interest. This is a conversation they've been having privately, and they want to really advance the conversation now into meaningful action. How do they register? How do they get involved? How do they attend on the 16th of May?
So it's free to attend, but it's really important you register. We've already got lots of registrations. We have limited space. So free to attend, but you must come to our socials, Trinidad Fertility, our website, Trinidad IVF, or give us a call. Numbers at the end, it's 615-BABY. If you call, you register, or if you register online, that's your spot. It's for you and your partner, you and your friend, free to attend, and it is for people struggling with infertility and thinking they may need IVF, been told you need IVF, done IVF somewhere else and wanted a second opinion, and that's who it's for. It's all about how it works, who we are, why TNT, why TTIVF, and how to get going.
Dr. Catherine Mintobain, I know you'll be on the floor for the 16th. Who else will join you in giving remarks and delivering some of the information to those in attendance?
Yeah, it's a very interactive event. I'm thrilled to say we're going to have 3 amazing patients who are true IVF warriors. They've had treatment in our clinic. They're going to be there talking about their experience. And then it won't just be me on the floor. There's a doctor's hub. I'll be joined by the other 2 TNT experts in fertility, Dr. Terry-Ann Rampal and Dr. Brickell Timothy. And you can have free one-on-one consults with us. I mean, it's short. It's not a proper doctor consult, but it's a chance to come and chat and feel us out. Our science team will be there, and then our nurses are there. You can sit and have a chat with one of the nurses, even book your next step. The admin staff are there. You can book your next step, which is your free nurse consult with us in Aranjuez in our clinic.
So you could have gone to Napa, you could have gone to Queen's Hall, you could have taken this to the Center of Excellence for those in East-West Corridor. Why SAPA, why South?
Our South patients ask us, why do you not come South? More than half of our patients are from Central and South. It's time. You know, everyone in Trinidad is dealing with infertility. It's 1 in 6 people, and we haven't been South. It's time we go there, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think it's a good look. Obviously, you know, a lot of stuff happens in the East-West Corridor and in town. It's good to always bring this kind of meaningful engagement to the South, Nan.
Yeah. And it's good for us Northerners to get out, get past the lighthouse,
yes,
and say hello to San Fernando. I don't go often enough. So.
Oh, South is love, you know.
Yeah.
South is love. That's where I was born, you know, in San Fernando, you know. So yes, right. Good place. So again, very important, because I know, as you would have mentioned, you want pre-registration. You don't want to exceed the capacity. I know it will be well subscribed. Just remind us again where they're going and what information is required to register. Okay, I want to really pinpoint and keep on hitting that.
If you feel this event is for you, come and register. So come to our website, trinidadivf.com. The registration form is right there. We don't ask you very much. We're going to be very highly confidential and private with your data, but we just need to know your name, who you're bringing, and an email. So you come and register. If you want to register on our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, just search Trinidad Fertility. And we've got some amazing women on the phone today. If you want to call up 615-BABY, that's 615-2229. You can say hello to Charlene, Ray, Rhonda. There's lovely women on the phone. They can explain to you what the event is about. It's free, as we said, but we've been very oversubscribed in past years, and we've had to turn people away. So if you want to turn up on the day, just be aware you may not get in. If you register in advance, it's your place, and we will be thrilled to see you. And it's Saturday, 16th of May in San Fernando at SAPA. Registration 9 a.m. Event starts sharp 9:30.
Yeah, that's right. And it's all free. And obviously, we want you to pre-register to be part of it. As we wrap things up, I'll always give you the opportunity, Doc, to speak directly to the audience, and especially this morning to those who have had the discussions privately that they want to embrace the IVF, they want to give it a try, but there is something holding them back. They're still a bit apprehensive, a bit nervous, a bit unsure. What do you say to that couple or that person this morning?
I think that's a wonderful thing to ask, and I think that shows you understand a lot about infertility. I think most people struggling to have a baby feel very much alone. It's really hard to take that next step. This is a way to help you take that next step. A lot of people leave it far too late, and time isn't on your side when you're dealing with infertility. The sooner you come to the IVF clinic and get advice, the quicker you can be getting into treatment, and it's more successful to get your baby the earlier you do it. So just take that step, come and talk to us. You'll meet so many people in the same situation. It's a wonderful, safe, private, confidential, supportive environment. I'm really looking forward to welcoming you, but you will meet so many people and find support.
Dr. Catherine Minto being touching base, and as always, great to see you, and have yourself a productive and enjoyable day.
JW, thank you. You too.
Yes. A great conversation, as always. We're going to take that pause, and we come back to officially wrap things up. A couple of talking points, obviously, before we pull the curtains down at 8. See you soon.
Just love a cup of Tetley tea right now. Dark, strong British blend to give you a good morning boost. Or Tetley decaf, all of the antioxidants, none of the caffeine. Losing weight or staying healthy your thing? Try Tetley green tea. Get the vitamins to boost your health with Tetley super teas. Or calm down with Tetley chamomile. Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Tetley, a tea for everyone.
Love the flavors you get with Tetley, tea for everyone. Tetley tea.
Distributed by AMCO, a subsidiary of Answer McCall.
Parents will do it, they'll go to work, have a day, bro, and come on and take that stress out on you.
Welcome to another episode of Manhood.
Everybody will do what they need to do to get what they want.
And if they can't fit in to the norms, then what they have to do? They have to survive.
Not everybody wants to kill me because I might be all kind of thing, but I think I'm a good person.
The aspect of a mentor seeing something in you that you can't see in yourself.
Check yourself, because you shaped that generation.
Are we losing in many ways the values?
Since I have this Parkinson's diagnosis, there's a group, a very small type group, who will always look after me.
The gripping crime series Suspects comes to your screen. New episodes, new cases, from murders to missing persons, drug overdoses, and sex crimes. Raw, real, riveting. Suspects takes you inside the Metropolitan Police as they fight for justice in London. Don't miss Suspects, only on CNC3.
this morning was a most interesting exercise. I put the task out to the nation to give the administration, the current government, a rating based on their 1 year and 1 day performance. And coming out of the calls this morning from far and wide, we had calls from Central, from South, Tobago, got in the conversation. I didn't really hear anybody from the West per se, but nonetheless, the rating thus far, and I say this based on the notes taken, there was 1 A+, 3 A's, a B+, a B, 1 C, 2 C-, and you know, and then not applicable, any. Isn't C like still a passing grade? Because I'm trying to figure out the maths here. Normally, if you get a D, so let's go through the grades. I mean, a F is F, right? Well, it have worse than F. You have ungraded, right? Right. So F ungraded, you didn't stand a chance. You know, wheel and come again. You have to rally back and sit all over again. E, you know, D, C, D, I mean, D kind of shaky, you're not really there just yet, but there is that clearly room for improvement. So I guess C is a passing grade, right? C is somebody saying C is about 70 to how much percent? I got a C rating just now there. So I guess based on what I'm seeing here, only really one person, well, not applicable, and well, we have some C's, a B's, some C's, some B's, A's, and an A+. Let's take probably 2 to 3 more before we officially wrap things up on this Wednesday morning. Just giving you a chance to put out your grade and your rating and explain why. All right, so lines are open, 624-8721, 627-8658. While we stand by for the call, let me just recap today's front page and the back page. We're seeing where the acting president of Venezuela met with Mia Mottley. Some talks happening there. She also would have met with the Prime Minister of Grenada a couple of weeks ago. Of course, no new beef with Delcy. That's the call from our government. And as it pertains to the back page, TNT pushes for victory. Red Force bowlers in control as Leeward. The Leewards, they go for the follow-on. And of course, NBA action, it's playoff time. Let's open the lines again, 624-8721, 627-8658. Touch base, just a few more minutes to go, and why not? Let's get the rating up and going. So I can safely say a C is a passing grade. What's someone saying this morning? Someone, good morning.
Hey, Jason, pleasant morning again. You what happened? I'm calling on behalf of my wife. She couldn't make this call this morning, right? So what happened? But she's listening to the program, and what happened? She called me to tell me that if I could call you, and she's giving it a passing grade of an A also, right? So I don't know if that would be. I am listening to your program right through, right? So
I'm accepting it. I'm taking it. I'll take it.
All right, Jason. Take care.
All right, Shogunas. So he's calling on behalf of the wife, who I guess in Samuel, right? And so another A adding to the pool. All right. Yeah. Let's by all means probably get, if not one, if we could squeeze 2 more, even better. So far 1 A+, 4 A's, a B+, a B, a C, 2 C-, and a not applicable. What's my grade, boy? I think there is lots of room for improvement, and for them to really get to an A from me and a B or even a C, or I'll probably go with a C. For them to get to a B and an A from me, there needs to be a reining in on some of the loose cannons who are speaking out of turn and is taking the politics and the role and function of ministers and the respect that's supposed to be associated with a position of governance to a whole new low. No, that's not the style. I don't want the children to feel that is normal behavior. That's not normal. And until I see all that talk about bust people head and bust people mouth and big strong talk, when we see folks after reigning and really humble themselves and ease up on that kind of rhetoric, then we could sort of talk A and B with me. But it's not my survey this morning, it's you. Good morning, Arima. We take.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I would give them a C.
A C.
Yes. Nice. Simply put, they haven't, I think, stimulated the economy enough. And of course, crime is an issue. And the retrenchment of the CPEP and URP workers, I would give them a C.
A C. All right. Yeah, well, we're taking that. We're taking it for sure. So another C added to the mix. Right. Thank you so much. Could we squeeze one more? Could we get one more in? One more in. Let's get it in fast. Good morning.
Morning, Jason.
Welcome.
I'm calling from Book, my boy.
Excellent. What's the rating you're giving this morning?
I give them a C.
Excellent. How come?
I agree with your comments.
Yeah, you want to see better in terms of reading in?
I give them a C.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the roads and the garbage and state like that, we don't want nobody to build no Hyatt for us, man. We want the little things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I understand you loud and clear. So again, let's do that recap of the ratings. And again, this was a very open, objective, independent kind of, almost like a survey really. We just put it out to the nation. Yes, we had some regular callers, but we had some folks like the man who just called for the very first time. Of course, the Santa Cruz and Ms. Diego Martin, a couple of our regulars did not get in this morning. But nonetheless, based on calls from far and wide, including Tobago, we have received 1 A+, just one, 4 A's, a B+, a B, 3 C's, 2 C-, and 1 not applicable, 1 any. He find better than that. Listen, ultimately if the government does well, we all do well. And I think anyone who lives here, you want betterment for the country and you want the needle to move in the direction of progress and sustainability and safety. And indeed, we hope this second year is clearly well better than the first. And we stay committed to asking the questions and holding anyone, no matter who's behind the wheel, accountable and holding them to their mandate of treating with the nation. With that, we bid a farewell. Godspeed. I'm back for more tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day and thank you so much for tuning in. See you tomorrow.
You're watching CNC3. As an affiliate of CNN International, we now join their current programming.
The CNN app. A new hour of CNN News Central starts now.
Breaking over